Thank you very much, Ambassador Butenis. It is a great honor and privilege to be in Sri Lanka, specifically at this time. First of all, to the religious leaders of this nation, to the United States Embassy staff, to our Realizing the Dream team that is traveling with us. Some of them I just briefly must acknowledge. Mr. Johnny Mack, traveling here, Mr. Mack, Dr. Eva Lathan, traveling with us, one of your own who has traveled with us but who lives in Washington now, Professor Munisker Ellen Tombe. That's close. I'll get it before I leave. And Ms. Chantel Pierce, who's on our team as well. Ladies and gentlemen, and most of all to the children, it is an extraordinary honor to share today as this exhibit is unveiled. And I was certainly moved by the musical and tribute in words, moved almost to tears, in fact, because it was, someone had told me, I believe, that there was going to be a surprise from the State Department, and it was truly a surprise because I did not expect it, but it was certainly most appropriate, most moving, and thank you for the words and song. When the United States Embassy invited me to come to Sri Lanka and inaugurate an exhibit commemorating the legacy of my father, I certainly was both honored and humbled. For in recent years, I've been blessed to have the opportunity to speak about my father around the world and who he was, and about his message of peace, nonviolence, and its meaning for people everywhere, regardless of country, culture, or faith. Standing here today, halfway around the world from home, I can't help but think about one of my father's most well-known quotations. For he said, "We're all caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied together in a single garment of destiny. For what affects one directly affects all indirectly. There is an unavoidable interdependence among the human family," he went on to say, "and that I can never be what I ought to be until you are what you ought to be." What he meant was that as long as someone in the world is poor, I can never be rich, no matter where I live. He meant that as long as someone in Africa or South America or Sri Lanka is suffering from violence, I can never be at peace, no matter where I'm from. He meant that achieving a more peaceful and equitable world is something we must all work for together. He had a vision about creating a world where people of every race, religion, and nation could stand together in peace as brothers and sisters. He called this idea the beloved community, a dream of a place and a time where society is at peace with itself and citizens from all backgrounds are treated as equal human beings. In his vision, it is a place where everyone has the opportunity to achieve their full potential. In the beloved community, all forms of violence, discrimination, prejudice, poverty, war are replaced by peace, justice, equality, and community. In the beloved community, disputes are resolved by peaceful negotiations between adversaries. In the beloved community, love and trust triumph over hatred and fear. Peace prevails over violence, and the midnight of desperation succumbs to the daybreak of joy. It is a vision that knows no boundaries of race, religion, or place. It's not an impossible utopian dream, but a state of heart and mind, a spirit of hope and goodwill that transcends all barriers and builds a world where our children can achieve prosperity and peace. It's not a place reserved for only one people, but for all peoples, rich and poor, Christian